Why is this war, occupation, invasion, whatever you want to call it, the special military operation, why is this still going on? Like, why is Putin and Kremlin insisting on going on with this plan, even though it's gonna hurt generations of Russians to come? Because what they're doing now, they are isolating Russia from the rest of the world. They're making the Russian government the enemy of the majority of the Western world, and that has huge consequences. You can see them already. Like, even the billionaires wants the wars to stop because it's hurting their business. They are losing money. They are losing their assets. They are losing their houses even, and they want the war to stop. But Kremlin and Putin doesn't give a fuck, and that's kind of strange. The European Union finally has united and has decided what the sanctions are. And you can see all around FedEx just recently that they will stop delivering things. Basically all of the Russian media has been boycotted by the European Union. Google has also, a lot of banks, the SWIFT payment method. Many people are thinking that, and actually are predicting that the Russian rupla, the currency of Russia, is going to fail tomorrow, Monday. And that might actually happen. And what that does is actually, it's gonna hurt the regular Russian people. The Kremlin and Putin doesn't give a fuck about the Russian people, unfortunately. And I don't see a way out, because even though the Western nations hasn't decided to intervene with the invasion war itself militarily, the sanctions, little by little, they're getting stricter and stricter and more severe. They are starting to work, and that might actually do it. I don't see a way where Putin and Kremlin will come ahead in this conflict. They are going to be the losing side, not Russia, but Kremlin and Putin will be the losing side. And there's no scenario where they can keep their power. After all this is done, I don't know how many years this will take, but after this, all of this is done, they need to be stripped of all of their power. They need to be removed from power. And also, this might sound really harsh, but I think that Russia should suffer the same consequences as Germany suffered after the World War II, which is military sanctions. That demilitarization of the Russian army. They can't have the things they have now, just to prevent another situation like this building up. And one thing that I haven't seen a lot of people talking about, I think after all of this is resoluted, after all of this has some conclusion to the crisis itself, all of the nations who have nukes at the moment, they need to get rid of them. Because at the moment, again, like, Putin is pushed back to a corner, and all he can do is say that we're gonna nuke all of you. And that's basically what he's doing at the moment, like raising the nuclear threat again. We're living in the world 2022. You would imagine we have learned from the past that nobody should own nuclear weapons. No one. There's no fucking reason for any nation to own nuclear weapons. And if you want to own a nuclear weapon, you shouldn't be allowed to exist. I'm sorry, that's kind of fucking harsh, but that sort of a weapon shouldn't be allowed. And every nation should think the same. And I think after this crisis, every nation that has nukes should give them up, should destroy them, anything, get rid of them. And I mean all of them. You need to make an own team to the United Nations. That sole purpose is to make sure every single nation that has nukes don't have them anymore. And after that, everybody is going to sign a contract that they're never going to make them. And if they will make them, there's some severe consequences. I don't know what the consequences would be, but there needs to be something like that. And I hope people will learn from this. The Russian people aren't to blame here. Putin and Kremlin is. They need to be stripped of power, and there needs to be a newly built trust on democracy in Russia. And they need to have their first elections in a long time, that they can truly elect a leader by themselves without any government interference. And they need to have a leader that isn't that batshit crazy, that makes new laws that allows him to basically rule forever. There needs to be a change in Russia, and the only way that can happen is from Russia to be stripped majority of their military power, and also take away their nukes. Make them an example, like we did with Germany. We need to make a new example of Russia. I haven't talked a lot about this situation in a while, and the reason is I have patiently watched how this has unveiled and how this has went forward. Like, there's so many things happening at the same time. I've been just reading a lot of things, and I've been just listening to a lot of things, and I hope we learn from this. I hope Ukraine gets peace. I hope Russia, well, not Russia, I hope Putin and Kremlin face the consequences. Thanks for tuning in. If you watched it this far, I love you guys. See you guys on the next one.